Happy 2020, everybody. Hope you're enjoying some Link to the Past Randomizer tournament action. Today, we've got our second tournament match going on. The first one being Crystal Solon versus Zero Rush, happening on Speed Gaming 2. Hopefully, you'll be joining us soon after that one's finished. I am Fear Agent, and with me is my good buddy Frostbite 3030. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Bringing in the new year with an awesome match, Gammachuu versus Hydrapower. Looking for some things to make fun of them for and some strats to steal, like always when I'm doing commentary. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing excellent. It's a new year, and we are rocking some bracket actions. We've got Gammachuu versus Hydrapower in the first of their three matches. I think we have a double header today.
I believe that is correct. I think this might actually be the second of their matches. Am I wrong in that?
No, this is game one.
Okay, I am wrong. That's not really particularly surprised.
We're gonna try to get the audio issues fixed as we.
And by we, he means himself, because I am totally the passenger in this.
But they should be getting underway here anytime.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. I'm not as familiar with Hydrapower. Basically, Fear and I have played a bunch of co-op with Gamma, so we're a little more familiar with his routing, but I've definitely seen his name from back in the day when I started picking up the game, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the point now where everybody's good. We went through qualifiers, we've gone through the groups, and only 32, or is it 64 people remain, and we're in single elimination now as well. So if you made it this far, you know, you're good.
Yeah, for sure. You're good, and you also didn't get totally unlucky in your races too, because I feel like, obviously there's a skill cap in this game, and sort of the best runners do stand out, but those runners will also lose to almost everyone in the sort of good enough percentile if they make the wrong choices and the other person makes the right choices, and that's what makes Rando so interesting. So, and that's what people like me rely on.
Sorry, just trying to get things sorted away. We are about to start. We are doing an open seed. And I know Gam likes to do Uncle Starts, and it looks like Hydra's doing the same thing. We've got $20 at Link's house.
2 Uncle Routers, I'm just shaking my head.
I feel like that's been the popular meta for this tournament, honestly.
Yeah, I'm half joking. I guess it depends, because when I had the Assured Sword, the Uncle routing sure felt a lot better than it does coming up here without the ability to escape right away. But I mean, it's a valid route used by people that have won the tournament before, so I don't think it's going to be sure. But not my personal.
All right, Hydra giving us the Uncle check first, and Gamma giving us chest next to Uncle.
Well, now we are. Now that we're watching them cover each other's tracks, why don't we just recap the race? So
let's recap it.
There was a big 20 in Uncle's house.
Yeah, we're going.
That's some pretty good sync right there.
Alright, so we got some cash, so they can buy bombs if they need to. So a lot of divergence here so far, both on Uncle. Let's see if anyone goes to Lumberjack. I feel like Gamma will probably choose to do.
I kind of feel like they're both going to do. They're going up this path, this side of the Lost Woods, you know.
Okay, so we're getting identical routes here. Crab's just giving us single rubies. That's not going to help us. And do we need to do Aga for Lumberjack today? The answer is no.
Just some taunting bombs when you don't have any in your inventory, but yeah, nobody's going to be getting that. see if there's any divergence in passing through the Lost Woods. It feels unlikely. That is a very nice early glove. Maybe get us some bombs down in here, and maybe we can get someone divergent to the back of Escape instead of this follow the leader game that's been going on so far. Gammachuu with the commanding rupee lead after farming a few more of those singletaries off the bush crab. But this is an interesting sort of volume of money to have because they're both going to want to purchase bombs, but purchasing bombs will push them below the guaranteed threshold to be able to buy the bottle vendor item. But
Yeah.
then you're just hoping I'll probably get a 20 somewhere in Kakariko.
Yeah, I imagine it's safer just to buy the bombs first because you've got 30. So you've got 30 in Blind's hut, and you've got 20 in the well.
Yeah, exactly. It's a flat
so
50,
it's safe
right?
to assume. Yeah.
You got to get 20 here somewhere, probably in the first check. Ooh, no.
So we got our Moon Pearl and we've got our glove. So we're just one item away from Dark World access already. It's crazy how in step each one of these runners are. Hopefully they just get Dark World access here in Kakariko and we get some divergence. You know, if we find the hammer here and we see who wants to. Hope we get a nice little chicken clip, or attempted chicken clip from Gamma. Nice to see our runners taking time to appease the crowd, even during a big race like this. And this is game 2. They did game 1. Sorry.
I thought I'd read that, but I never trust my own memory. So
yeah.
Yeah, it is nice. That chicken clip cannot save time, but I still appreciate it.
Sure, totally. Oh, we got some early boots. We'll take those.
Those will definitely save some time. On the other hand.
All right, so there's our bottle vendor money, so we're good to go.
Yeah,
do you go check the boot spot right now?
I wouldn't.
Bonk rocks?
I would not. Because of that glove already, I would plan on checking the bonk rocks when I went up to Death Mountain at some point.
Okay.
Or when I went to the back of Escape, which is also another check they have available. So. I feel like if I find the boots in Lost Woods, I'll probably run back over and check it before Kakariko, but I feel like going into the village is sort of that threshold in my mind.
Yeah. Alright, so we got the Moon Pearl, and we've got the boots here in Kakariko, as well as that Quake Medallion. Not a bad Kakariko.
No, and it always adds those interesting sort of sequence breaks where the boots and Moon Pearl make fake flippers more appealing, and the lack of money makes it less appealing.
Yeah. And just a 20 on the library ledge there. And we did get a map check earlier, so we got crystals at Eastern Desert, pendant at Hera, and just bombs on the race game. I pretty much always lose time now if there's nothing on the race game because I'm pretty much always blind checking it.
I go for like my gut. If I feel like Kakariko's been empty, I blind check it, and if I feel like it's been full, I don't. With boots, I'm probably gonna blind check it as well because you save that bomb resource and whatnot. It looks like they're probably both gonna go into bonk rocks right away as well.
Well, they got the glove, so they can go do the back of Escape as well. So this incentivizes that a little bit more.
Exactly, and they don't have a great weapon for Mini Moldorm Cave yet.
There we go.
Well, now we're going to get some divergence now. We better.
Now, so I know some runners will take that and immediately go into the Dark World. I still like to clear out the Sphere 1 checks.
Honestly, with this loadout, I might consider the Dark World just because, like, Mini Moldorm Cave with bombs isn't really the hardest thing in the world, but it's definitely slow. And a lot of those early Dark World checks, Village of Outcasts through Stumpy through Hype Cave, they don't really require a weapon, including the front of Thieves Town and even the front of Skull Woods. Mind you, with this much health, it's much riskier. But I would be strongly considering a YOLO into the Dark World with this loadout.
All right, so we're gonna check out the back of Escape. See if we can find a map and the key here. Well,
Bam.
what do you know? What do you know? The map and the key.
That
Just to make
been,
it,
yeah,
just to make it so that escapes, worse, because you're like, now I have to go back to Escape at some point.
Yeah, for sure. There's 4 items in the front of Escape now. You got to go there at some point.
All right, so Gamma is going to do continue on with the Sphere 1 checks, and Hydrapower is doing the exact same thing, because these runners are just going to continue to follow each other's footsteps.
I'm not convinced entirely that it's not one person playing and we're just streaming them with different fighting. I wonder if either one of them is going to peel off to Agina first. It feels like a play that's become way more popular in the tournament than I ever saw during dailies or anything like that.
Sure. I mean, it's a spot that you isolate for the most part, and if you have something there big early, get it out of the way.
Well, especially with these boots, it doesn't feel nearly as bad basically making any check, but looks like Gamma's just going to go straight over to Mini Moldorm. And what a surprise.
The same. So we are in the bracket stage of the tournament now, having finished up the groups. We are in single elimination, so Hydra playing for his tournament life here.
Oh, I just noticed Gammachuu got that fun little glitch that happens sometimes when the bomb lands right on the... Usually in this room, Mini Moldorm, it doesn't do damage, I should say.
Yeah, I hate that. All right, so we got our Mushroom, Half Magic, Little Cash, and our Flippers. Hey-o.
Intriguing. Flippers just open more of the Dark World too, which makes me so happy.
Oh yeah, because now you have access to all of the Dark
now
World.
Pod's in Logic, exactly. Finally, getting some divergence here. Gammachuu going around for the Ice Rod Cave check. Well, Hydra's going to do these probably in slightly different directions, starting with Hobo and the island, which
they're both good.
Didn't give me a chance to see.
I think it was just 10 arrows, so there's nothing on the island. I actually like Hydra's routing of this better than Gamma's. Well, with the boots, maybe not.
Yeah, with Gamma, I like Gamma's because you can get that. You can get the speed, the stored water walk out of the Ice Rod Cave here, and then sprint across the water to Hobo. I think it's probably slightly.
That's true. I wasn't taking into account the boots.
Yeah, with the Flippers, interestingly, Gamma could have actually just walked down that ladder and hopped in there, and then swam to the edge of the waterfall, and he would have got his water walk inside the pond there. I think it's slightly faster to do it that way, but I mean, he also farmed the bomb, which wasn't necessarily his intended plan, but he was there anyways. But we're talking seconds, if anything.
It's one of those things where, like, okay, so we've got Flippers. Is Flippers going to lead to anything, or am I isolating Zora? But there hasn't been any money, so you don't feel too bad about it because there's no real way.
Yeah, exactly.
Opponent to have gotten Zora money yet either, unless they did some sort of like crazy route divergence. And if that's the case, then you're feeling okay as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking, okay, so did my opponent hula hand and then go pick up the rock in desert 3 times? And the answer is of course not. So you're feeling pretty good about isolation.
Hydra not checking Waterfall Fairy.
I wonder if he's just going to go straight. Oh no, he started at Link's house again.
That's a little strange. Is he going over to Agina now?
It's gotta be, right?
Oh, he's going to turn in the mushroom.
He's checking the mushroom. I love this.
Right, so nothing in the Waterfall Fairy. So he's probably just thinking, I'll come back to do Zora, or I'll do Waterfall Fairy when I have enough money to do Zora as well. But
That's the hook shot. Yeah,
yeah,
I definitely understand that strategy. The reason I would maybe not like it is because the only real good spot they have other than this is front of escape. Like Eastern with their current loadout is not great. I mean, Saha's Closet's nice, but I would probably tend to just hope that Sora's not the end.
yeah, it looks like we're gonna get a save scum of the mushroom as well, which I know is one of your favorite things to do.
Oh, of course, I do it every single time I have the opportunity. I don't even think save scumming should be illegal under the rule set for this game, so that's how much I hate it.
All right, so Gamma's actually got a lot of options now. You've got the hook shot. You can actually go up to the mountain. You can sequence break the mountain and do you do pretty much all of the mountain except for Hera, and Hera's a pendant. Or you can head over to the Dark World and start doing checks there. I'll see what he wants to do. Hydra gonna skip up on that hook. It's gonna be a while till he gets that, and we'll see if the hook lays apart. And is Gamma actually gonna make that sequence break? Looks like it.
Yeah, I like this play, but same with me. I'm a big fan of the mountain sequence break because if you do find the flute or the lamp on here, it just adds so much to the knowledge value, and it helps you specifically if you find the lamp and it's the flute that's supposed to get you up to Death Mountain. It can really help you narrow that down later in the game.
Yeah. So Hydra's gonna skip out on Skullwoods. No sword, no fire source. Gonna have to come back to it anyways. Well, if it's a crystal. Just gonna check out the Village of Outcasts here. Probably just head south. I mean, we don't have a lot of options.
I love Gamma spamming that dash to use this as marker through the dark room, and Hydrapower finding a sword in the bombable hut. Very nice.
All right, so there's our first look. We've got a green pendant Skullwoods, a red pendant pod, which is always fun, and our other 5/6 is Thieves Town. We should also shout out our tracker for today, Niff Boy. I'm not sure if they're in chat or not, but make sure you give some love to our tracker, who's going to make sure that we get all the correct information, because we are going to miss it for sure. We are going to make so many mistakes.
And just because this seed has been so linear, or not linear, but routed so similarly, Gammachuu couldn't let Hydrapower find the only sword. So he, of course, also found a sword on the old man.
Of course. I mean, once you get boots, I love early boots. Ooh, there's our flute. So there's our access to the Death Mountain, which, Gammachuu will get eventually, like sooner rather than later. So this is a good thing. We got our ice rod. Okay, no ice rod hunt today. So Gamma picks up the Bombos medallion. Instead of, I think, doing the bomb jump and and missing it, because he's probably going to miss it. He's just going to save and quit and head east from
for sure. And I absolutely agree with picking up that Bombos medallion now, because it seems like if you pick it up, it's not needed and you feel a little bit bad, but if you skip it and it is needed and you find out later, you feel a lot good.
Yeah, for sure. And Hydrapower, since he doesn't have that hammer, says, I'll come. I got enough stuff out of here. Let's come back. He's just going to death warp out of Thieves Town. I wouldn't be surprised to find the hammer up here, by the way, where Gammachuu is. Which will, if he does, will make that Thieves Town trip faster, because he won't have to come back.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of, and Hydra will save a little bit of time on his mountain climb by being able to flute up. But yeah, I think it would have been reasonable to even do Thieves Town there. I think they found 3 items in the front, am I correct?
Yeah, I probably would have gone. All right, so there's our lamp. So Gamma knows that the flute is not going to be up here on the mountain. We've got a shovel, and we've got the mirror.
And
stacked.
the mirror. That's a stacked paradox game right there. Exactly the word. Now this is going to give Gammachuu some significant advantage in routing this area that the Hydrapower is going through right.
Yeah, I mean, just having that hook shot has really broken out this race for Gamma.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's still so early that it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's still plenty of opportunity for Hydrapower to make up time, but Gamma's going to be making these checks a bit faster than Hydrapower.
Yeah, and not only that, but a lot of the things that you would like, you think, oh, I'll get the mirror before I check Zora. Those, you know, well, you're not going to in this seed, right? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's sort of, I mean, obviously the bow hasn't been found yet, so anything can happen at the end of the game. But finding that hook shot is definitely given Gammachuu not only like a routing advantage, but just the way he'll be able to route the village much more succinctly, one-timing it without having to save quit. I mean, that's a significant time save just in itself right there.
Well, there's our hammer. Man, this seed is a fast one. We've got a lot of stuff already.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got powder, so save's coming to the rescue again, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what are we looking for now? We need that bow, obviously, for both. For Eastern, we don't know what pod is a pendant.
Yeah, pod is a pendant, but
we don't need access to desert because we've already got it. We need a fire rod. We need Samaria and maybe a medallion or two.
And they'll have to just double up on each other's sword locations at a minimum as well.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what the medallion is for Turtle Rock. It is Ether.
Yeah, definitely Ether.
That's the one we don't have.
Of course it is.
All right, so Hookshot Cave is going to give us our bow, of course, because why not?
Yeah, this seed is insane.
Because why not?
I check Hookshot Cave every seed. I swear to God, it never has anything. In this seed, where Hype Cave had the hammer, bow, and Hookshot Cave, like all the multi-item locations are loaded today.
Okay, so Gamma is going to go take a look at Hera. And Hydra going to turn in that powder and see what we get from the magic bat here. Just a couple bombs. So Fetch Quest is not really giving us much yet.
Yeah, that's super annoying. Whenever you find early fetch quest, you always are kind of thinking, no, why would this mushroom be in the third chest I checked unless it happened?
All right, so Gamma saw the first item in Hera and knew that the next item either had to be a big key or a small key, and was like, nope, I'm out. So Gamma, let's see, he's heading over towards the village of Blackcast as well. We'll see if he wants to dip Skullwoods or not. But if not, he'll head right into Village of Outcasts and then Thieves Town. We'll see if he wants to finish off Thieves Town or if he goes and picks up that hammer.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that he's missing hammer might draw him up into Skull. Just because you don't really want to leave that behind if you can avoid it.
Yeah, so there's at least 2 items. I'm not sure if it was 3 or not. So we'll see how many more are in the back. You know what Hydrapower needs is cash to incentivize him to go over and check out Zora.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A big 300 would go a long way to sort of making that check a higher priority in his brain. I mean, especially since he already sort of avoided it, you're kind of committing to actually doing that Zora check at this point.
Yeah.
It would just feel really bad to go up there and you know, get something that you could have had, even though that probably is what he should do, obviously.
Right,
Very
so
nice dash up the side of Thieves Town by Hydra.
Yeah, and Gamma is checking out Skullwoods. First check is just a map. And the mirror just makes all this routing so much nicer. Like if he chooses to leave Thieves Town after the first 3, or the first 4, excuse me, he can just mirror out instead of save and quit. And I know that doesn't seem like a huge difference, but that stuff adds up over time.
Yeah, the Death Warp, I mean, even if you're planning for it, it still adds time to your running for sure.
Alright, so we got our map and a compass.
Gammachuu probably happy now he stole that key from the back to bring up to the front.
Yeah. So there's our big key. Still no item. Wow. Both items fire rod locked. Oh
Well,
no, we still got the big chest.
I feel like you might just be repeating yourself in a second, though.
Yeah. Alright, so it looks like the small key is locked in the big chest of Thieves Town.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, it's a 50-50 percentage chance of whether it's going to be in Blind Cell or in the big. And then adding in the fact that you're still missing both the map and compass, I think it makes a lot of sense to just sort of YOLO Thieves Town your first time here. But with the mirror, for Gamma specifically now, and also, I mean, Hydrapower had very low resources when he was in here the first time. I mean, he did have that sword, but I think he was on 4 hearts. And I mean, as much as a lot of people would feel comfortable fighting blind on 4 hearts and doing sort of the rest of the dungeon, it only takes a little slip up for it to go.
Yeah. We got our second shield. So again, we're gonna be picking up his master sword here in a minute, and then we'll see if he wants to dive into Thieves Town or just head over to Hyde Cave first. He might even do the Smith Chain rather quickly, since he does have that mirror.
Yeah, he's got a lot of routing options right now.
And Hydrapower does have his flippers. We'll see if we can get that marked off on his tracker. Okay, so Gamma about to pick up his flute. And now he's going to know, okay, I am 100% back in logic, and that's got to feel really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, what's super nice about this routing is he's got that mirror, so you can just mirror out right after Thieves Town and activate his flute. Not have to make another trip over to Kakariko.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Hydra was returning to Smith when he did it made it so it wasn't sort of like a one-off, really feels bad trip, but still, you're right. It's all the mirror, especially around the Village of Outcasts, is probably the location where it offers the most value from a routing perspective.
So Hydrapower gonna get his Master Sword from the old man as Gamma activates his flute. And he can't do a whole lot up here. He'll be able to get bombos. He doesn't have that mirror yet. We know that that's hookshot locked. We might see, man, he really needs cash because I feel like that would draw him back to the water check area. I wonder if the boots are weighing on his mind at all. Or the flippers are weighing on his mind because they haven't really given him anything yet.
Well, he hasn't really, I mean, he found that hammer, but that doesn't, I mean, as nice as an item as it is for sort of the late world dungeons and not having to dive them and not finish them, it doesn't really open a lot once you've already got Dark World access.
Alright, so Gamma left after the first 4 since he doesn't have that hammer. Hydra giving us a first look here. We've got Quake for Meyer, which is the medallion we need, so we just need Kina Samaria for that one. And we got 10 bombs and a heart container, a heart piece there in Meyer Shed. So we really are what, Ether and Fire Rod Samaria from Gomo? That's crazy. We are only 26 minutes in.
Yeah, and the hammer is located in Hive Cave. Hydrapower did find it on his trip after the...
Yeah, this is funny. It seems like such a late check into the front of Hyrule Castle, but we are only 26 minutes in.
Oh yeah, they've had so many choices available. I totally get why Gammachuu hasn't come here at all and why Hydra's only coming right. I mean, that is sort of one of the things with the uncle routing, right? Sure, it does get you the uncle chest early, but it also makes sort of the front of escape slightly less valuable. And so it's just sort of that choice you make at the beginning of the seed. In Gamma's case, he probably feels like he has a ton of choices that are just way more valuable than that location right now, whereas because Hydropower is missing that hook.
So we do find a cane inside Hyrule Castle. Just a cane of Burna, though. Gamma going to give us another check that Hydra's not going to do. K45. 4 single rupee. Okay, so there's 300 rupees for Hydropower there. That's actually really good for him.
Yeah, for sure. And if there actually is something on Zora, I mean, like, it would have to be Fire Rod or Samaria, basically, or even worse, Ether, I guess. That could actually give him quite a big advantage.
Yep. Again, what's good for Gamma's routing, he's able to check all of this stuff together, so he's not isolating any of these checks. He's not getting anything out of them, but he's not getting. Ooh, Hydra not checking Dark Cross.
Yeah, I think because he did that swag Ice Rod strat against the guard, he had no real way of death warping because he would have had to use bomb. And I feel like he had 6 hearts or something in it. That never feels good either.
Yeah. All right, so here's Hydra going now that he's got Zora money over to the Zora area. This is really good for him. He'll get his hook shot and be able to pick up all of his items over in Dark Death Mountain and Paradox Cave. Where does Gamma head after this? Does he go over to maybe do Eastern and Sasha?
Pod, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'd be going to Pod myself.
Pendant Pod, man.
It's either Pod or Ice Palace. Those are the 2 places I'm thinking about right now with what I've got.
Yeah, maybe you just route in Pod, and since you've got the mirror, you could do Saha and
honestly, I feel like because I like Ice Palace, I would be going to Ice Palace if I was Gammachuu right now first. And then I'd lose that time clearing it when other people are go-moding it at the end of the race. But I would want to, like, I'm really suspicious of Pod 2 because I don't think that bow is going to lead to anything in Eastern. But again, because it's a pendant, I would probably go over in the Dark World, check Zaha, come back, and then hedge and do Eastern first. And if I found something good in Eastern, bail on Pod.
Wow, Gamma's choosing Pendant, Green Pendant, Swamp Palace first. This is a call. Of all of the options that we just laid out, neither one of us thought about going to Green Pendant, Swamp Palace.
I don't hate it. I wasn't thinking about it at all, that's for dang sure.
I feel like I'd be clearing crystals first. Oh, okay, so this makes more sense. It looks like we got the map check was wrong. Swamp is a crystal. So Skullwoods is the green pendant.
This makes a lot more sense. I was actually trying to start to convince myself that, well, what would be the green pendant? You're going over to Eastern and Pod anyways. And, like, you come in here committing to skip left side no matter what. It's not that bad. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, get this out of the way now.
And I feel like if you come into Swamp Palace before 30 minutes, you just can't leave an item behind. I mean, if it's one item left side, big chest combined, maybe I'd think about skipping it, but personally, I'd almost be hoping for like the map or the compass in the first 2 chests so I can just go left side first.
Yeah.
Without running the risk of getting the legendary left side YOLO compass map combo.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think Gamma will probably do left side first. I know you said you'd probably do Pendant Bod. I feel like in version 31, I've had a lot less success with pendant pod than I've had in the past.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily be. I would do Eastern first, but yeah, I feel like I don't know. I mean, it could be anywhere, right? But I feel like pod is just high density.
Alright, so we got the big key first. That's nice. All right, there's some maps. So now you can say, now you can go left side. You know, this is just one check. You're not gonna have to come back to do, you know, like the big key's not on Argus or something stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
Gamma almost
You give it that
flooded.
little scare with that flood right there.
Yeah. All right, Hydropower picking up his mirror here as well, and got his bow. And we'll see what he chooses to do after this. He could, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him check out the eastern areas. We thought Gamma might do, or should he might just head over to Swamp, right?
Yeah, it's hard to, he'll have found the bow more recently, so that might just be a little more stuck in his mind. But also, he just found the mirror. I feel like Swamp is the play. You get all the things to get into Swamp this early, and it's a crystal. It feels like the game is telling you to go here.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, Swamp just takes forever, and it's the possibility to go mode it is so nice.
I just look at where I am in the race right now, though, and I'm thinking my chances of go moding either pod or ice are very low at this point. Something's going to be in one of them. They're the two most, like, crystal dungeons.
No, it made sense. He was right here and has the ability to full clear it, so why not? You don't have to come back later. In this race, is he's just been in a little clip thing, and he's not going to have to double back really anywhere. He is going to have to go to Feast Town, but that'll be pretty quick with the equipment that he has, and Hydra had to do that. We did get 2 items on the left side.
Yeah, so that's the consolation prize of YOLOing the left side of Swamp, is at least if it's 2 items, you know you probably would have went back in for them this early in the season.
Yeah. We'll see if Hydra wants to do any more of Hera. I probably, with Herapod, I feel like the incentive to go upstairs is just too much to not do now. Like, it's so fast.
Yeah, it's like 20 seconds or something insane like that to check those 2 chests after you've checked the sort of lobby chest off.
Yeah.
And especially, I don't know, I'm tempted to just do it as well. But then once I get up there, it's like, well, I might as well kill the boss. So.
To get into Myra was Quake. It's our 3rd shield. Always important.
I just tell myself it's still telling me that the answer is Laser Bridge.
Sure.
Just like I tell myself if the game gives me money, it means I have to go to Zora, right?
Totally.
Absolutely works that way, come on. Yeah, I don't know, he's come all the way over here. I feel like he might go up into, no, he is.
He's not even going to check Hera, which is a little surprising. He's just going to go straight into Spike Cave, which Gamma wasn't able to do. So for Hydra to like make up some time, he needs to find the Fire Rod, Ether, or Samaria before Gamma does.
Yeah, and I feel like the best thing for him to find is obviously that medallion.
Or Red Mail.
Yeah, nice. Definitely wouldn't have got it if you knew what was.
Yeah.
I'll have to shame Gammachuu afterwards about failing the Ice Rod strat on Phase 2 of Argus.
Ice Rod is not easy to do.
Dude, it's my favorite strat in the game. I've gotten pretty good with it, so I always laugh at people when they mess it up. But no, you're definitely right. Especially if your priority is the Fire Rod strat, yeah. The timing is different on the button.
Totally.
With the Ice Rod.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even good with the Fire Rod, so...
Well, my secret is that I'm terrible with the Silver Arrow, so I just...
So that Swamp play got him his first crystal, but there was nothing in Swamp Palace. And Hydra is heading over to Eastern. And he'll do Eastern first and then probably head over to Sawhorse Closet after that. Gamma hasn't been to the Mire area, so he's going to check out. He can check out Mire. He can do the Mire Shed, which we know doesn't have anything, but he can actually check out Desert, which Hydra wasn't able to do. And he can full clear it as well.
Yeah, and of course Checkerboard Cave as well. How would you? I mean, I guess obviously you're not going into Mire first because you can't aspire.
Yeah, not with all you have to do. Did anybody check Agina's cave yet? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
All right, so Desert Ledge gives us entrance into Desert Palace. Lovely.
I think it would be funny if he walked in here and this door was just bricked off and he actually had to jump off and use the book.
Alright, so we got Boots lock the big key.
This starts to make more sense. I was wondering when the boots were going to come into play given how early they were loaded.
Well, they did give us access to a glove as well.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right, so there's our small key. I haven't been counting items in Eastern yet, so it looks like we've only got two. One or two.
I can't even count items when I'm playing, so.
Yeah. Oh, we got our first bottle in Eastern. First item in Desert is a heart piece.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. We got our tempered sword.
Always a very nice feeling.
Yeah, especially this early when you haven't really done a lot of bosses yet.
Also makes, of course, Ice Palace a lot more appealing at this point.
Yeah.
At least the boss fight. I'm not sure the dungeon as a whole still is that appealing, but it feels like that's what Fire Rod. The Fire Rod's going to be an Ice Palace, right? Like,
oh, for sure.
Playing around.
Yeah. And the real question, what is Fire Rod locked in Skull Woods that's holding it back? Is that where Ether is?
Yeah, that's 3 items back there.
We're about to get 2 boss fights about the same time. And both of our runners will have 2 crystals, though.
4 different dungeons.
Yeah.
So much for them routing the same, eh?
Yeah. Well, once we got that early Darkwood access, things changed. Well, the big difference was hydrapower not doing
Zora check.
water checks right away. Yeah.
Zora Ledge. What's that spot called? Zora Ledge.
Yeah, Zora Ledge. Nice quick Armos Knight kill from hydrapower, and Gamma able to get it looked like a 2-cycle on there though.
Yeah, it was a 2-cycle with the Ice Rod. Yeah, it's quite difficult to 1-cycle Landmo with the Ice Rod, even with Temper.
Yeah.
And I say this with someone whose name is Frost and who loves the Ice Rod and has put in significant time into fighting Lamos with the Ice Rod.
All right, so Sawhorse Closet, what's been holding for 40 minutes?
Candace and Maria.
Big 20, another big 20, and Ether.
It is one of the things, so.
Yeah, so we're down to 2 items.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hydrapower, that's not really a location that Gammachuu is going to avoid.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so all these like extra checks, these mirror checks that Gamma has been making, that's allowed his routing to be a bit better, because none of them have paid off. That's the unfortunate thing. So
that's exactly what I was just going to say here, is that Hydrapower's added disadvantage from a routing efficiency standpoint, having that mirror link. But if he just skips all the mirror checks, he doesn't lose anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess except the book.
Oh, jeez.
And the tempered sword, which again doesn't. I mean, it's not. Doing desert isn't really doing a one-off mirror check like Graveyard Witch and K45 will.
Man, those those tablet spots, I mean, are when are those runners? When are the runners going to go back to them? Hydra's actually a little bit more incentivized to check the Bombos tablet since he hasn't done Swamp yet. But
yeah,
nobody wants to go back up and check Ether tablet.
Yeah, I mean, Gammachoo's got more calling him up there. He hasn't done Spike Cave. He snoped out of hair earlier.
So Gamma got to finish off Thieves Town and pick up his third crystal. Hydra going to finish off Desert, get his tempered sword, and as well as his third crystal. And then we might see just a flip-flop of dungeons. We might see Hydra go into Swamp, and we might see Gamma head over to Eastern.
Yeah, for sure. The interesting thing we'll see if Gamma's brain is thinking about pod, given that he's checked a lot more of the world before going over to the Eastern pod area. And even because obviously we know there's nothing there in that bottle, he might consider just going over in the Dark World. It is obviously slightly slower if you don't end up finding the pod.
Yeah, so we're down to Fire Rod and Cane of Samaria. Now, gosh, stupid Ice Palace logic. How do we know? Well, I don't know if you know the answer to this. How would we know if it's Cane of Samaria locked? Is it if Cold Stare has a key? Is that how we determine if it's Cane of Samaria locked?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And I mean that honestly, people talk about that quite a bit. It doesn't really ever mean anything at all.
Yeah.
It basically tells you that the Cane of Samaria can't be in GT, which is only relevant if Meyer and TR are both pendants, as well as the big key behind the Cane of Samaria in GT. Because then at least you can tell that, okay, the Cane of Samaria is not in GT, which you would know already because you'd looked there at the basement. So
Sure.
it's sort of like a trivia fact, but I don't think it actually imparts much useful knowledge, with the exception of its pyramid pair.
Yeah. Which we do have access to once, let's see, what will combined power of our runners, since Hydra's cleared out Eastern. And oh no, Hydra does have pyramid 3 access.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. This is totally like superstitious mumbo jumbo, but I feel like the pyramid pair is never.
Yeah, I feel like I route in Pyramid Fairy more often than not for no real advantage.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, right? Because you see those special crystals, and especially if they're like the first 2 that you have access to, it's really hard not to think, well, the game wants me to get Pyramid Fairy now, right? And because you're routing Pyramid in at some point anyways, it's not always like even really much of a time loss, but I don't know, lately I've found that my Pyramid Fairy checks have left me thinking about whether I ever want to check it.
Yeah. Alright, so that's crystal number 3 for Hydrapower. Gamma is on his way to get his third crystal here from Thieves Town. Hydra's going to check out Checkerboard Cave and Venus Cave. And we'll see where he wants to head next.
Yeah, I feel like Swamp Palace is his next play, and then that routes nicely into the Pyramid Fairy.
And then Pod possibly as well.
Pod slash even Catfish or whatever. I mean, Catfish is probably more appealing to Gamma because he has if Catfish is ever appealing to anyone in this game, maybe.
Yeah.
Or potentially in real life also. I mean.
You don't like Catfish?
I mean, I do, but man, where I grew up, you don't eat catfish. Not because it's bad, but because we got lots of good freshwater fish as well.
Sure. Yeah. I'm more of a salmon guy. That's what we have here in the Pacific
West Coast,
Northwest.
exactly.
Yeah. Catfish is good though.
Yeah,
if it's done right.
I'm not from the South. What do you expect? No, for sure. I don't disagree. I like all sorts of food. Can you guys find something so we can stop talking about fishing?
Do they eat catfish in Hyrule?
I don't know, dude. That feels like it would be very, very akin to murder. The fish talks to you.
Yeah.
I feel like if you catch a fish and it starts talking to you, you can't eat it.
That's probably true. We got our gold sword from a sick kid there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad check, but I mean, if you knew it was there, you definitely wouldn't have picked it up.
Yeah, damn. I mean, you're not going out of your way for it. It is
Yeah,
quick
you might pick it
you.
up if you're going there anyways, because it is such a quick check, exactly. But it really is hard to time to make up other than like the Ganon fight if you screw up the one cycle with the gold sword over the tempered sword throughout the course of...
Alright, so Gamma is making the play into Ice Palace. I know you like this play. Hydra going to do some mirror checks here. I mean, how often do you see Fire Rod in Bombos locked Ice Palace? It's like way too common, right?
Yeah, I think it's I don't even think it's just a meme either. I feel like if the game puts Fire Rod in Ice Palace, it obviously has to give you Bombos, right? So I feel like it actually isn't necessarily more common than the Fire Rod being in other locations, but that specific combo of Bombos leading to Fire Rod, it has to exist every time this happens, so it's very noticeable.
Sure.
But yeah, when you get the Bombos medallion, the first thing you think is, okay, does this open any of my dungeons? Well, in this case, it doesn't. Well, why isn't this in GT? And then the answer is likely there's something, the Fire Rod in Ice Palace. Or, I mean, because the randomizer and the algorithm just place the Bombos medallion randomly, that's the real answer about when there isn't any Ice Palace.
Yeah, or Pendant Pod, right? That's the play probably here. Hydra going to give us a look at Bombos tablet.
Yeah, this is one of those spots that's potentially really good for him.
It's red. You can spend it. It's not the way that you would like in this seed.
Yeah, that book is in a weird spot too. You're thinking like, why would the book end up here? You know what I mean? Right? I could see someone, maybe not in a 1v1, but in more of a like large community race, just deciding to absolutely YOLO those books. But I do like the Ice Palace play, not only because I like Ice Palace, but because it does allow Gamma to get maximum information before making his pod dive if he ever has. Because if he would have went to Pod and Eastern first, he would have always had Ice Palace in the back of his mind before going into Pod, thinking, well, what if it's just a Crystal Ice Palace? Now he'll know there's either something here or not by the time he has to make that play. And obviously, if he finds the Fire Rod here, then, I mean, I guess it really only opens back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, that's true. Or you just find both here.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So Hydra going to dip into Swamp. I imagine with two items being on the left, that he'll probably route this the same way that Gamma routed it.
Yeah, especially the way it gave you the big key and the map in the first 3, I guess it was. A lot of runners will just go left side first at that point.
And so first 2 checks into Ice Palace, we get our compass and we get our map, so that's fun.
I feel like that's happened in more than one dungeon in this race already. It definitely happened in Skull Woods.
Yeah. First item, piece of heart. Alright, number 2, is it going to be an item? It's our big key. Alright, so we're down to 2 items and a key, I believe, right? Maybe 2 keys.
Yeah, Gammachuu unfortunately does not have a small key here.
Yeah.
I think he realized it.
Yeah. It's fine, just bomb. This low.
Yeah, it's a reasonable saving. Yeah, he's not very happy right now. It's a reasonable salvage of the situation, but it still costs you a handful of seconds, right? right?
Yeah. So Hydra not going left first. He's actually gonna head straight to Moth. Our second item is just a big 20. It's looking like we're down to like Pod or Maya or something stupid. Catfish
You
maybe?
just called them.
I said Moth.
Yeah.
No, I said Meyer.
No, you said he's gonna go back to Moth. And it's
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, dude. I was just calling you out because I had the opportunity to.
Yeah. All right, so
Gamma deciding after that debacle that Ice, unless he found 2 items, because I can't.
yeah, he found 2 items, so there's nothing here in Ice Palace.
So it's Pod.
I mean, it could be Meyer. You do have access to Meyer. It could be Catfish. Could be Pyramid Fairy. All bad locations. Graveyard Ledge, anybody?
Oh yeah, Graveyard Ledge. Maybe we could get something as beautiful as like the Cane of Samari and Meyer, and then the Fire Rod and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we've only checked 1 item in here, so it could be there as well.
Did Hydrapower not go upstairs? I thought I saw him upstairs. I could totally be wrong.
Upstairs where?
In Hera.
No, he skipped Hera
he skipped
completely.
entirely.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Well, I guess that's something that could get him up there for that ether tablet too.
Yeah, for sure. Gamer cannot feel good about full clearing ice and swamp and getting nothing out of it, either one of them.
I honestly, I think like you feel bad in a vacuum, but I think if you look at the big picture of the seed, you got to assume maybe your opponent skipped left side, but they're full clearing ice.
Yeah. And Hydra's gonna go back, right? There's 2 items on the left-hand side. There's no way to go back in.
I'm not sure. I feel like
is
the
a bit
hook shot,
slower.
the hook shot that he found so late might influence him to skip it. Especially since it led right to the mirror, and you know if your opponent gets it earlier, it gets him a lot more convenient routing, but he is going to go back in.
Yeah, I just feel like it's too risky at this point to skip 2 items. If it was 1, maybe make that call, but 2. And now Gamma gonna head into Eastern. He'll pick up his bottle. He'll get another crystal. He'll probably check Sick Kid after he does Saha and get Butter. And we'll see what he chooses to do. If he wants to do Pod or maybe dip into Meyer or do some of those gross overroll checks. I think before he does Pod, he might do Pyramid Fairy though.
Yeah, I feel like dipping into Meyer without the Cane of Samari is a real hard sell this late into the seed too.
So both of the runners just making checks that the other has made. What do they eat in Hyrule, you think?
Dude, I got no clue, man. I don't understand anything about the Hyrule economy. It seems like there's only like 6 people, yet they're supporting a whole kingdom and whatnot. You don't see very much farming going on. I'm not sure.
So there's Zora, which obviously they don't eat Zora, but there is fish. We've seen there's fish and there's chickens or cuckoos.
Yeah,
cuckoos almost feel like pets more than.
Yeah, dude. I got no clue how they exist. Maybe it's a video game and it doesn't logically make a lot of sense.
No, come on, man. It's real. Real life.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure on the science of these fish. Are those fish maybe just baby Zoras that haven't grown up yet? I don't know how this stuff works.
That's messed up. I guess it's like chicken and eggs thing, sort of thing, right? There is apples too. The rare seen apples in this game.
Yeah, you only find them when you bonk somewhere silly, unfortunately. So Hyrule's vegan, I see. All apples.
Maybe roast a pig or 2.
Fair. This does seem to happen quite often.
Yeah. Alright, we'll see if Gamma can get the quick kill on those knights here. A little bit different of a setup than I normally see, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I think I've seen Gamma do that setup before, and it's basically, I feel like it takes approximately the same time as the one where you start at the sort of top left of the upper right, almost, if that makes any sense. But yeah, very cool.
Yeah, nice clean kill. Hydra heading into Ice Palace. Again, all these routing choices make sense. It's just none of them are working out. Where are the last two items, man?
Catfish and Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah. Alright, so Gamma gonna pick up Ether. And we'll see. I bet he flutes over to Sick Kid after this. And then maybe we start doing Pyramid Pod. I don't know, man.
I feel like if I was gonna go to Sick Kid, I might do the Pyramid first, and then Sick Kid into Graveyard Ledge and Catfish or something.
Okay.
Now, I don't think Hydrapower ever checked the front of Skull Wood, so he still has that as an option, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he did.
Yeah, he sure does. Gamma also still hasn't done the front of Escape, which it looks like he's probably doing Pyramid now. I imagine we get a mirror into the front of Escape.
Yeah, unless he finds Canis Maria or Fire Rod in the Pyramid Fairy location. He's going back to that Bombo tablet.
Yeah, it just doesn't want to isolate it. This makes sense. Because there's no other incentive to come this direction ever after this.
No, and he's cleared all these other mirror spots. It would feel really bad if it was the one you didn't check. That realistically I mean, I guess the way Hydra did Swamp later, it did route for him pretty reasonably, but it's easy to think your opponent could have gone to Swamp early like you did as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm starting to get suspicious of whether that Canis Maria is actually locked in the back of Skullwood, too. It feels weird like we didn't run into one of them yet.
I feel like if I'm making the pendant pod play, I want to make it early. And I feel like the later it is, the worse it feels.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same way with any pendant play, honestly. There's more value in making it early if it pays off, and frankly, if it doesn't pay off, at least you have that knowledge that you have that sometime, and you can potentially skip other things to try and make it up, or just keep digging your hole deeper, whichever one happens to be the case.
Yeah, for sure.
But like these races are zero sum, so I feel like there's a lot more. Like I feel like in a big race or in a qualifier setting, you're really not gonna metagame, well, my opponent likely did this early, so I'm going to avoid it. But I think in a 1v1, that becomes a much more viable strategy. The key is to not just metagame yourself into doing all these horrible checks and skipping like hype game because it's something your opponent could have done earlier or whatever. But this Pyramid Fairy check feels really hot right now.
Yeah, $20 on the Pyramid Ledge, and we've got inside the Fairy Heart Piece. 10 sticks.
I told you, man, it never has anything. Yeah. It's like leads you up. It teases you all the way there, and it never has.
Is he gonna? Yeah, I think he's gonna do Catfish. Which makes sense.
Into Zora. Oh, he doesn't even have Zora much.
Oh my gosh, we're an hour in still.
Well, he skipped the front of Escape. That's why.
Right. I'm surprised he didn't do. Okay, he's a new Graveyard Ledge as well. This makes sense. I'm surprised he didn't mirror and do the front of Escape there.
Me too. He might have just forgot. It's 4 items in the front of this game, too, so...
Yeah, we still haven't seen Dark Cross, which Hydra skipped.
Oh, and Dark Cross has been bloated in V31 ever since they changed the logic for it, too. Especially having the Fire Rod or the Lamp specifically in that location.
Alright, so it's not... Graveyard Ledge. I know... Gamma's probably thinking like if it is front of Escape, I mean I put it off this long, might as well keep putting it off.
Yeah, I understand that thinking. I think it's probably something you should have checked when you were there, just because you'll never have a more opportune time to do it. It's 4 reasonably quick checks. I mean, it's probably quicker. It would have been quicker to check those 4 items than to get 4 items as a pendant pod, right? So.
Yeah. All right, is our boy Catfish.
The fire rod's here. I'm calling Piron Jesus. This is where it was in the race I played this morning. Okay, good.
Just $20. Pod Meyer, Dark Cross, Hera, and a tablet check. So here's the gold sword for Gamma. And it looks like Hydra's going to be doing the pyramid check as well. And so we'll probably check out Catfish, Graveyard Ledge. And Hydra's got some of those other gross mirror checks, I think, still left. I don't know if he did K45 yet or not. He might have done that.
Honestly, I think I might have seen him do that, yeah.
Maybe he does Dark Cross when he
does Pyramid Fairy,
checks.
yeah.
Yeah. Pods to play, right? They're just avoiding the obvious.
Yeah, honestly, half the items left in the game from like a global standpoint are in pod. And I mean, I definitely like the pod play over Crystal Mire without Samaria.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was Pendant Mire, I would maybe argue that Mire might be a better option because it has a sort of higher threshold of items required to access it. And if it's a Pendant and you can access it, it's kind of a little bit weird. But with it being a crystal, it's way less appealing to, you might have to double dip it if you can't complete it. And you're obviously going to get access to it at some point. So I feel like that doesn't really say much.
Hydra gonna get 10 sticks and that heart piece and see what they want to do next.
The one thing about the seed is that, we don't really have very many poverty seeds in the V3R family, but this might be the seed with the least amount of money I've seen in a while.
Yeah, you're right.
Other than that 300 that Hydrapower found in the escape, I think they found like maybe 150 or 200 rupees outside of that.
Yeah. What's weird about the last two items is neither one of them unlocks a ton, right? Like, Samaria, I guess, potentially unlocks Turtle Rock. We're both locked in the pod, which is not a big deal. And Fire Rod only locks Skull Woods.
I feel like the Bowlock always makes me feel that there's going to be something in here when I've gotten an early bow.
There's another 300 there in the castle.
See, this is the Hyrule economy at work. The wealthy just hoard the rupees in their castle, and the poor villagers have not.
Yeah, man, they charge $100 for a bottle. What the heck?
It's like prohibition, man.
It's empty too. An empty bottle for 100 rupees.
Although, in fairness, there isn't a glass blower in Hyrule, so maybe it's super hard to get bottles.
Maybe it is possible. All right, 2 small keys on the right-hand side. The funniest thing is if like both of the items are... Oh, there's Cane of Samaria. Do you continue on or do you leave?
I think I continue.
So Cane of Samaria gives us access to Full Clear Mire, and it gives us access to Turtle Rock, and Fire Rod can potentially be in Turtle Rock. I feel like I might make that play, man.
I would do Mire first because it.
Sure.
Do it anyways, but then Turtle Rock becomes very appealing.
Oh,
there it is, right there.
And I lost the game, just like my match against Salty Fry. There you go.
Feels bad. I would have won this race. Why don't I get seeds like this? I end up pulling stuff out of the graveyard I just 2 hours. I was talking about Pendant Pod the second they stepped into the Dark World.
Yeah, totally. All right, so Gamma now in full go mode. Hydrapower is gonna have to make up some time by heading to pod immediately.
Yeah, this is a really rough for him. I don't think there's much opportunity, and he's got Gold Sword. Enough health that it's unlikely that there's going to be any. He's got to go to pod right now, though, right? Like, this is the play.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, it looks like he's going to Meyer.
Oh no.
Or he might not have checked checkerboard cave yet, but still, that still feels really bad.
This is game 2. I'm not sure if they made any changes. If we're just doing a regular 7-7 open defeat game.
I feel like I saw in chat that it was fast cannon, but you know, I'm not gonna swear to that. That's for sure. I didn't spend the seconds it would take to look at. I mean, the interesting thing about it being potentially fast cannon is that does actually open a potential win condition for hydrapower, and that maybe Gammachuu might get some fast cannon.
Okay, I just confirmed. I looked at their seed. It is fast cannon. So no climb today.
I totally understand that decision, especially if you know, in these top 64s, if you lose your first match, a lot of times it's like you feel your execution is maybe not quite as strong as your opponent, and removing that sort of 10 minutes of basically pure execution from the game makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, I get it. So hydrapower, it needs to go to pod and needs Gamma to climb GT.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it's happened. I feel like it's less likely in a 1v1, but I've definitely done dailies where I have climbed Cannon's Tower in a fast cannon seed before, but that's a much less sort of focused environment.
Mm-hmm.
When I had fast cannon tournaments in this seed, I wrote on a piece of paper folded underneath my monitor the words fast cannon so that it was in my eyeline the entire.
Nice. Oh no, where's Gamma going?
I don't know. I was trying to figure this out too.
And you're not going to find the big key in the big chest.
Not with that attitude.
That's true.
I'd be lying if I said I never did that and went around that loop without the big key. I don't know that I've ever done it in go mode though. Usually it's been because I've been full clearing the dungeon. We'll have to. I mean, he clearly didn't intend to do that. Muscle memory.
Yeah, now Hydra's doing cutscene as well. You know, even though Gamma was able to get the hook shot, you know, so much earlier than Hydra was fully in this. You know, skipping a lot of the checks that Gamma checked.
Oh, for sure. If he'd have just like gone to pod at any point, frankly, before Gamma hit it, he could have definitely had a much. I mean, he's in a really rough spot at this point. He could have been in front, frankly, even though he got sort of the short end of the stick from the hookshot routing and mirror routing perspective.
We'll have to ask him about putting off Zora's domain, and I guess I could guess the answer. We'll just hear maybe his thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Gamma just doing butter slashes with these eyes, and it goes super quick.
Nice fight by Gamma.
Yep, crystal number 6 just has to run up to Turtle Rock and clear that out. And again, with equipment that they have, will be no problem. I mean, this had a potential to be. I mean, this is still fast.
This had really, really fast potential in it.
Yeah.
We were looking for Kane and Hookshot and Ether for like an hour,
like
and all three of them.
Minutes.
Yeah, all three of them were free in the Eastern pod area. If you just routed, if you had just gone into the Dark World and went to pod in Eastern, like after the mountain, so you had the mirror, you could have, like, it could have been in the one territory.
Yeah.
This would have been an amazing seed for like a qualifier.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because then, I mean, I guess qualifier is maybe not the right, because people are more hedging, but in a race where like you have 100 people in it and everyone is trying to win the race, where like the incentive is to win, not to like score the best time or whatever, the best Q score.
All right, so Hydra are gonna get King of Samaria and hopefully stay in pod.
Yeah, that's obviously, I mean,
I think
feel really bad if he doesn't.
Yeah, I think going to Meyer already is going to keep them in pod.
And I think about the fact that Canis Maria opens so little.
Yeah.
Like, it opens one location in Turtle Rock, potentially more, but I mean, you almost hope it's only.
Yeah.
And it obviously opens that Vitreous fight, which he has to do anyways. But I mean, if pod didn't take so long to get to, I could almost see just going to Meyer and then coming right back to pod. But because like half the you'd spend more time coming back to pod than you would just finishing clear.
All right. Oh, how fast of a Turtle Rock is this going to be? We need a key. Okay. And then you want big key on the right hand side.
And then a key in the chain chomp chest, and then you're golden.
Yeah, and then it's the best Turtle Rock ever.
So when you get that scenario, do you steal the key from the pokey, and then you're good? You don't have to open any more chests, or do you just skip the whole big key chest pokey area and hope you run into a key?
No, that's no way. Have you done that?
Oh yeah, but not in a race that has anything like anything other than points on the line.
Sure.
Yeah. I feel if you do that, you almost have to hedge the big chest, and it doesn't save you any time anyways. So, but it's a nice start so far.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I get that compass there. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was. I don't know why I thought he picked up the big key. I watched what happened. You know what happened is hydrapower picked up the big key in pod, I think.
At the same time, yeah.
But not even really at the same time, I don't think, but like within 30 seconds of it, and that was enough for my weak brain.
Alright, so you want the big key to be here. It's not. Alright, so we got a vanilla big key. So we're not stealing anything today.
No stealing, no skipping chests. Well, maybe you get lucky and get a couple small keys and the laser bridge, but...
Yeah, but now you have to do...
The big chest, yeah.
Big chest, yeah.
But you could theoretically get like small key in the big chest.
Alright, let's go mode for hydrapower there.
Go mode.
So it gets to go back to Meyer again.
Yeah, he's probably really regretting the decision to dip into Meyer, but I totally understand it at the time of the race where he did it.
Yeah. So Hydra's actually skipping out in Maya right now. He's going to Turtle Rock instead.
I mean, with Fast Ganon, this totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's functionally irrelevant which one you do first, but...
Sure.
It's not an insane play like it would be in a Defeat Ganon.
Yeah, if you have to do Defeat Ganon, it would make 0 sense.
And of course, with that vanilla big key, Gamma does have to check this big chest to ensure it's not a small key. Which it was. If he had skipped it, it would have been a real bad situation.
Yeah. So he still might be able to skip Laser Bridge if we get a key here in Crystal.
Yeah, exactly. You're just hoping for key, exactly.
But it's not gonna. It's probably gonna be the map.
Wow.
I told you, man. It's like the worst Total Rock. Small key on the last part of Laser Bridge.
I mean, sometimes I like to do the last chest first. I guess third would be more like it, not first. It's got the mirror shield though, so it'll probably just, I don't know. It's probably quicker to dash, but tanking it's just free at this point.
Yeah. When do you start at the bottom? Like, what makes you decide to start?
No, I will do the first two, and then I'll drop a Samaria block to get rid of the enemy and just go into the fourth.
Oh, okay. Or number one.
That's nice.
So
I mean, I guess the other time I'll start at the bottom is like entrance, or like if I'm feeling like a coward and I'm gonna die and I take the safety door.
See if Gamma can get the zero cycle on Trinex here with that butter sword and boots.
Probably my favorite like quick kill strat to try and do, mainly because it's one of the easier ones.
Yeah.
It always feels really good when you get it.
That was real nice.
Yeah, really clean. You can see just how he's sort of angling over to the right with each of his slashes, because that's the way you sort of fail it, is if you do hit the head and sort of get bonked away from the other head. He's clean though. A nice clean second phases.
Yeah, that was a textbook Trinex fight. And all he's got left is Ganon.
Yeah, I feel like Trinex has to be one of those bosses where the fight increases in difficulty quite dramatically depending on the sword layout. Fighter Sword Trinex is just an absolute meme.
I mean, Fighter Sword Trinex is basically just the same thing. It's almost the same thing as Master Sword, right? You're just hammering him anyways.
Well, in regular modes, but in other modes you can get forced to do a Fighter Sword Trinex without the hammer, and then it's just ridiculous. But yeah, the hammer strat I guess isn't too bad. And Gammachuu does remember that it is a fast Ganon goal and is taking the
not climbing GT.
The quick route over through
Unfortunately for Hydra, yeah. So the question is, can Gamma kill Ganon before Hydra kills Trinex?
I have no idea. I'm trying to do the math in my head, and it's really cranking the gears into a bit of a lockdown right now.
I think it depends on. I guess it just depends on how many.
I mean, the warps, obviously, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But those conveyor belts, or whatever you want to call them, the tubes, they're all so slow in TR. That's what makes TR so frustrating. I mean, if you took out the tubes and the Samaria conveyors, it would be a really, really fast and fun thing.
Alright, already on to phase 3. Silver's probably Ganon's Tower. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I would bet Ganon's Tower for sure. I hope we see Pod though.
That would be pretty funny.
Here we go.
Yeah, Ganon's Tower, unsurprisingly. Gets the torch glitch. Spin it to win it. 12 spins here for Gamma. Half magic. And that fire rod with torch glitch is going to make it so he can get triples for most of these.
Yeah, he might just avoid if it's like a top right corner scenario and just go for double like this particular location.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just going to wait it out. It's feasible to get triples up there, but it's magic when I watch people do it. I certainly won't ever go
it's
for
not
it.
easy to do.
And of course, he's getting all of top right. Looks like he's got those bottom triples pretty clean though. Really
There it
nice
is.
last hit there for Gammachuu.
Get your GG chat for Gamma as he gets the second win and advances in the brackets and eliminates Hydrapower from the tournament. And we'll see if we can chat with him here. Not really sure he did anything that would.
No, it really was an interesting race. I mean, from the beginning where they were following each other so closely, we were wondering if it was one controller and two sprites, to the openest, weirdest, not weird is the right word, but sort of from total sync to total divergence. And then it basically came down to which runner was going to make the play independent pod first. And Gammachuu, I mean, neither one of them, frankly, went early. But Gammachuu, just because of his sort of luck or choices, whatever, however you want to put it, of finding the hook shot earlier and then getting the mirror and allowing him to clear the overworld a lot more efficiently, because Hydrapower had to double back for a lot of those awful spots. It allowed him to sort of narrow down to pod a little bit quicker. So no, it was an awesome race to watch, and GG's to Hydrapower making it to the brackets and good shows, and GG's to Gamma for winning the race and moving forward to whoever his potential opponents would be. You think I know I've been doing this restream for at least I could have looked at the bracket, right?
Yeah. All right, so Gamma finished first place with an official time of 1:21.46, and Hydrapower has forfeited. We'll see if we can talk to these guys and just get their overall feelings. Of course, get your GGs in chat for Hydrapower, who, you know, put up a good fight and was in there until the end. Just didn't go to pod early enough, and you know, that's randomizer for you, right? Like, that's how it works.
Yeah, and as Hydra just pointed out in chat, that Gamma will go on to face the victor of the Ack the Boker versus Megawatt match. It looks like we are joined by Gammachuu. GG's on the race today, sir, and GG's on your victory over Hydra.
Hey, GG's, thank you.
So how did you feel when you finally went to pod?
I felt like I should have done that comboing in with Eastern Palace. But you know what? I was thinking, how would Hydra be playing this? Would he have gone in here early on? Or would he have, you know, or is he going to do a lot of overworld checks before touching this? And I kind of went with that thinking, like, okay, let me do it more, you know, overworld checks in case, you know, it is over there somewhere. Because almost, I want to say, I don't know, 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I was just looking for those two items for Go mode. Took a long time.
At 26 minutes, you were Ether, Fire Rod, and Canis Samaria for Go mode. And of course, they're all sort of over in that corridor, right in there. But no, it was a really, really interesting matchup. I mean, the sort of, I guess, the hinge point would have been when you decided to just abandon Zora and go up and check that and found the hook shot, whereas Hydrapower delayed those checks for a while, went into the dark world, found a bunch of other stuff, the flute, etc. But that basically allowed you to get the mirror a lot earlier, which, although it led to full clearing swamp and literally nothing behind a mirror check, it allowed you to sort of route the overworld a lot cleaner because you didn't have to double dip, whereas he had to go back for a lot of the mirror spots.
Yeah, that felt super nice, getting that mirror up there. And then I found the lamp too, so I knew, okay, his lamp flute is somewhere down there. And of course, it's the first 4 chests of Thieves Town. That was convenient.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's really unfortunate. He didn't do South Shore early on.
Well, he did South Shore, but he quit after Ice Rod Cave because he was at like 150 rupees or something like that. And so I think maybe, I don't know exactly why he is. Maybe if he joins us, he can answer. But we were speculating that he might have been trying to save up for Zora because he still had Front of Escape. He still had Eastern Palace. He had some, you know, reasonable options on the table.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Our last seed too Zora ended up having our hammer, which we practically lasso-kitted, which kind of sucked. In this case, I'm glad there was nothing on him, and it was on Zora's ledge, that lovely hook shot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you even have enough money to buy the Zora item now?
No. Where was all the money? I was only left with like 2 rupees, I think, when I finished the game. Like, barely enough just to pay for pod.
There were 300 rupees in Hyrule Castle, so that was one location.
I got worried. I forgot to combo that in with Pyramid Fairy too. I'm like,
We were
oh.
wondering if you skipped that on purpose or if you just like had a little slip when you left.
No, I would have definitely cleared that one. I just totally forgot as I made my way to Catfish and what was it? Graveyard Ledge. Yeah. But it felt nice finding them back to back. Kane and then Fire Rod. Bam.
Did you ever get any thought to noping out after you found the cane, or was it like it just doesn't open that much?
Oh,
and
no. I was gonna stay there. I'm like, no, I'm already in here. I do not want to make another trip in here. If it was in there, and it was, but I was gonna skip Helmut Sword though, most likely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That also felt bad going to Skullwoods early on, only to find both items were Fire Rod.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything else was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it was a pretty clean seed. It was a really, really well routed from you, and frankly, Hydropower routed it really well as well. He sort of got a few of the items in the not ideal order, whereas you got them in sort of the correct order, and it allowed for a bit of a divergence to happen.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the seed overall. Typically, I don't like to do Swamp as my first dungeon, but I was right there when I got, what was it, in Hype Cave, the hammer. Yeah, because I like to skip it as much as I can early on, just so I could, have that train of thought, okay, should I skip left side Swamp? But I have all these checks left. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I want to get that out of the way, not even look back at Swamp.
They both full cleared Swamp and Ice, and neither one of them had anything in them, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, all in Pod. I used to be a strong believer in Pendant Pod, but I feel like most of these seeds recently, Pendant Pod has been almost... Sorry. So I didn't feel too bad until I found those both items right there. I'm like, oh, how far behind am I possibly?
I mean, that's a conversation we had throughout the entire seed, basically.
I want to let you know, Gamma, that I was recommend going to Pendant Pod as the very first play in the Dark World.
That would have been
I would have made it. And honestly, we had our tracker displaying the crystal slightly wrong, and we thought Skullwoods was the crystal and Swamp was the pendant. So for a moment there, we're like, Gamma, this is an enormous brain play going into Green Pendant Swamp. And then once we got that sorted out, we're like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
God. Yeah.
But no, it's a tough sell. You had all those crystals available for the most part, and then with the mirror, what are you going to do? Skip all the overworld between the dungeons? I totally get why you would sort of want to clean up a lot of those spots. And like even going back for the Bombos tablet before you did Pyramid Fairy, which again, Pyramid Fairy never has anything in it anymore. I totally get making those choices, especially in a 1v1 where you feel like it almost feels worse to skip. Like you skip something in a big race, whatever, you get smoked, it's no big deal. But if you skip a single item in a 1v1 and you lose by a couple minutes, it feels so much worse. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's exactly why I went back for Bombos, because if I didn't get it then when I did Pyramid Fairy, I was almost never gonna get that ever again. There was no reason for me to go back in that area anymore. But of course, Pendant Pod, I'll keep that in mind for next race. Pendant Pod's always the answer.
So are you 6-0 now in the tournament?
I believe so.
How you feeling about everything?
Feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
So you played the winner of Ak the Boker versus Megawatt. Who are you rooting for?
I think I want to say I'd rather face off against Megawatt, only because I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe he doesn't know how to hover. I know Ak does.
Yeah, Ak definitely can hover.
I love that is how you make your answers, because that is absolutely how I'm looking at my bracket as well. So
yeah, I don't blame you. No hovers, please. Yeah,
like it's an absolute. I mean, it's very fringe, but I mean, I've only played 7 tournaments in the race so far, and one of them was a hover seed. So it definitely happens. But no, that's the legit reasoning. And I mean, you're gonna have to play well against anyone in this tournament at this point. So I'm not sure that picking anyone over anyone else really matters if you make the wrong choices, right? So
oh yeah. If Ak didn't know how to hover, I'd be okay with facing either two, because those two are, they're top tier runners, so it's really hard to say. But
we'll just let Megawatt know that you're hoping that he wins.
I already
Yes.
PM'd him. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect.
Any last thoughts, Gamma? The tournament or the race or
Uh,
anything that's going on?
Nah, I'm just glad to kind of get this one out of the way. I'm glad I'm still here. Stick around. So we'll see how the next one goes. And thank you guys for commentating as well, Freer, Agent, and Frostbite. And the tracker out there, thank you for tracking as well. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, quick shout outs to Nif Boy who did the tracking for us, keeping us in line.
Yeah, we were so off on so many things and so wrong. So big shout outs to Nifboy for tracking for us today. We've got another race coming up, Solsky versus Gem, right here.
Oh baby.
Just over 20 minutes. So you don't actually want to leave Speed Gaming 4 because that one's going to be a doozy. So there's lots of bracket action happening this all week and for the next couple of weeks. So make sure you keep it locked on the Speed Gaming network of channels, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. And join the Discord. I think that's about it. So GG's to both Gammachuu and Hydropower for making it as far as they did. Again, to make it to the top 64 is not easy. I know because I didn't make it. It's not easy to do. So you got to feel good about that. Unfortunate for Hydra, he's out now, but feel good about how far you made it, and you played really well. It was a great race. So Frost, always a pleasure to do comms with you.
Awesome, thanks. It was awesome as well. I guess we'll have to get to the bottom of the Hyrulean economy and their fish stocks later.
That's right. We'll figure that out next time. For Frostbite, for Nif Boy, I've been Fear Agent, and we are out of here again. Stay tuned for more randomizer tournament action. Jam versus Solsky. Don't miss it. Bye, everyone.